Good afternoon and welcome to Scholarships 101, presented by Michelle Berger from the LLCC Foundation. Scholarships 101 will help you prepare for the upcoming scholarship application season by providing a general overview of applying for scholarships, how to select and ask your scholarship references for a recommendation, as well as guidance on writing the personal essay for your scholarship application. During the presentation, we do encourage you to post any questions that you have in chat. At the end of this presentation, we'll address your questions. We also received a number of questions from participants on the event registration form, and we will also address those questions during the presentation as well. And now, allow me to introduce Michelle Berger, Scholarship Program Coordinator with the Lincoln Land Community College Foundation.
Good afternoon. My name is Michelle Berger, and I have worked in the LLCC Foundation office for 2 years, and I have been with the college for 11 years. Thank you so much for joining me for this session. It would be helpful if you could grab a paper and a pen to jot down some notes that we will be covering, as we will be covering a lot of information. So let's jump right in. Need money for college? Especially during this wild ride of a year, we could all use some extra help. Good news. If you are anticipating on starting college or continuing your college coursework for fall 2021, now is the time to start planning for the upcoming scholarship season. Scholarship season at LLCC is December 1st through March 1st, and that is very similar to many colleges in Illinois and surrounding states. How I remind students to think of applying for scholarships each year is when they are thinking of purchasing Christmas gifts, remember about putting some extra money into your college accounts by applying for scholarships around that same time. So December 1st is the start date. What does that mean to you? By December 1st, you should have applied to your colleges of choice. I recommend applying to 3 colleges, as we all need a backup plan. Just like 2020, we always need a plan B and C. Last year, we had 420 applicants apply and over 230 students receive scholarship awards. So I would say you have the odds of winning an LLCC Foundation scholarship in your favor. The application time is well invested. November is National Scholarship Month, and I want to compliment you on your preparedness by attending this event on how to be more financially successful in your investment to your education. Of course, I want to start off by promoting our LLCC Foundation scholarships. If you are considering attending LLCC for the upcoming fall 2021 and spring 2022, please apply. Our online application is available December 1st through March 1st at the website shown on the screen. Only one application is needed to automatically apply you to all the scholarships you qualify for. Please visit our website, not just for our scholarship application that will appear on December 1st, but also click on Scholarship Application Resources for helpful worksheets and handouts to assist you with your scholarship applications. So how do you apply for scholarships? You first need to apply to LLCC. After you are accepted, you will activate that LLCC email that was given to you when you were accepted. Side note, please be sure to check your college emails after you have activated them. Many important correspondence is sent from various college departments, such as financial aid, student success, which is advising and counseling, and also the LLCC Foundation. You don't want to miss an email that contains a scholarship offer. Lastly, you will be ready to enter the scholarship application with that LLCC email and password. So why should you apply for scholarships at any school? Scholarships are free money that many students sadly do not apply for. I know that sounds crazy. It's free money and hardly anyone applies for it. I think the time commitment might intimidate students, as it once did for me. But after you complete your first scholarship application, the next ones just get easier and take less time. Yes, the scholarship applications take time to complete, but students have reported to me the average time it takes them to complete our scholarship application is 30 to 60 minutes. So basically, an hour could earn you thousands. Scholarships across colleges vary award amounts and also availability. So please check into them now to ensure you aren't missing out on any opportunities. In the LLCC Foundation, we have scholarships that range from $500 all the way to $11,500, with the average scholarship being $1,200. Think if you had a job and you were paid $10 an hour. That is 120 hours that our average scholarship would pay you not to work. Now think about that 30 to 60 minutes to complete the scholarship application. Your time is definitely well invested. This again is free money you are given to pursue your educational and career goals, so apply for it. So what do scholarships cover or pay for? Even if you get financial aid money such as Pell and MAP to cover tuition and fees, many scholarships also cover books and other related educational expenses. If all your tuition and fees are covered by financial aid at LLCC and many colleges, scholarships can cover your book expenses that can be very expensive and or also provide you with that category, other related educational expenses. So if your tuition fees and books are paid for with financial aid or other scholarships, at LLCC, you would be given a check for that amount of the scholarship to cover those other related educational expenses. What can those be? A computer, a printer, gas money, rent, groceries, anything you need to be a more successful student. Who can apply or who qualifies for scholarships? There are scholarships for first-time students, continuing students, full-time students, which are 12 credit hours or more, and also part-time students. There are also scholarships for a variety of different programs and studies, programs of study and majors, a variety of different GPA requirements or number of credit hours, and also regional location, and some are very broad. So where can I find these scholarships? Have you ever heard of the term shop local? Instead of starting with the national scholarships, start with the scholarships close to you. Scholarships come from a variety of places, such as community businesses, organizations, and individuals. High school students, check with your high school counselors. Many scholarships would be available only for your specific high school, county, and or district. Non-high school students, many scholarships are offered each year from your local Chamber of Commerce, churches, civic groups, and even posted in your hometown newspapers. Other opportunities? Ask your parents and grandparents if they belong to any unions or specialty groups, as many times they offer scholarships specific for dependents or descendants of those members. Some groups might include the AARP, the LLCC Academy of Lifelong Learning, members of the military. Some other great places to find scholarships. There's two websites listed, fastweb.com and collegegreenlight.com. These are really great and easy resources to search for scholarships. Another free scholarship assistant, Google. Let Google do the work for you. You can enter a variety of different keywords, such as scholarships for students in Morgan County, scholarships for psychology majors, scholarships for dependents of disabled veterans or first responders, or even scholarships for dog owners. The variety of scholarships is truly endless. Something that I want to stress, you should never pay for a scholarship search or application. Those should always be free. You might run into a website that offers a minimal cost, such as $4.99, to automatically generate a list of scholarships that are tailored to you. Never enter your credit card information, as these should always be free. So what are the required documents and information that is needed from us to apply for scholarships and to complete that application? The first thing is an unofficial transcript. Make sure you are attaching the type of file that is requested on that scholarship application. If you apply to LLCC or any other college and already submitted your transcript to their records department Why would you have to reattach your scholarship one to your scholarship application? Well, for security purposes, many scholarship applications do not connect to the college's records department for protection of your information and data. Many applications with the LLCC foundations being included require a PDF version of your transcript to be uploaded. A tip, when you upload your file, make sure that you save that file as something simple, such as your last name, to avoid any uploading errors. Usually when you download your transcript, your computer automatically wants to rename it something that has symbols and special characters that can prevent your file from attaching. So I just suggest simply hit Save As and save it as your last name. High school seniors, you will attach your most recent transcript that reflects 7 semesters of grades. So that means your transcript that you will upload will include grades from your freshman year all the way through your first semester of your senior year. Non-high school students, you'll attach a transcript such as your GED, your high school transcript, or college. Another major thing that's included in scholarship application is the personal essay statement. I know that this is one of the most dreaded parts of the application, so I'm definitely going to address this in upcoming slides. Lastly, you will need 2 references to complete recommendations. You will need their name and email. We're going to review some quick tips on who to ask for a recommendation that could earn you extra money. Jumping right into the personal essay or personal statement. Really important to know, who are you writing this essay or statement to? You're writing this to a scholarship review committee. At the LLCC Foundation, our scholarship committee is made up of LLCC faculty, staff, and LLCC Foundation board members. Other colleges are very similar and also might have some other members from the community with various backgrounds of experiences and occupations. Scholarship committees are truly made up of wonderful and caring individuals that want to get to know you better as a human and a student to assist them in making a decision on who will be receiving scholarships. So in your personal essay or statement, how do you convey that you deserve this scholarship? We're going to talk about in the upcoming slides how to address the personal essay questions, but I want to focus on really making sure that you make this about you. This needs to be original. Make your essay stand out. You do not need to be a scholarly writer, so forget about that. You do need to communicate, however, your story, and your story is worthy of a scholarship. Another important reminder, don't assume that because you are not an academic or athletic superstar that you are not going to win. There are scholarships based on leadership, art, music, theater, mentoring, public service, and more. The better you communicate your story in the essay, the higher chances of earning more money. So basically, the more specifics and examples you can share in regards to the specific questions the scholarship essay asks, the better. I mentioned earlier to visit the LLCC Foundation website for great resources. One of these resources is a personal essay brainstorming worksheet to help you write your story. Continuing with the personal essay and statement, you need to first start at the essay and the statement questions. Be sure to answer each question, especially if there are more than one questions that you need to address. If you don't answer the essay question or questions, you are not going to win. Remember, your past experiences have helped prepare you to be a good candidate for the scholarships. Tell the committee about the experiences that you've had, accomplishments, and a variety of qualities such as motivation, self-discipline, leadership, commitment to others, positive attitude, curiosity in your intended field of study or major. Maybe you're a great team player, you're honest, you're persistent, and hardworking are all great examples to share. Don't forget, you are more than a GPA or a major. You can forget the image of a perfect student. The committee isn't expecting or requiring that. They simply want to see a human and get to know that human more. Finally, be modest yet brag. You need to be confident in your story and again, tell your story through your essay. If you don't tell the committee, they simply will not know if you don't write it in your essay. So whatever you think will help reveal your desire for a higher education and why a scholarship will help you achieve that goal, let the committee know in your essay. Some more key items to include in your essay: your academic and career goals. How do you get those across in your essay, or why did you choose your major? You really need to pull the reader in and make them excited about why you are considering to pursue it. Tell them how you first discovered your career interests. Think about those questions: how, what, when, why, to give you some idea of examples to share. If you do not know what you want to do as a future career or job, share your hobbies or your subject interest in school. Maybe that's psychology, biology, art, auto shop, music. Talk about any in-person or online research you have done into careers. I certainly know the pandemic has made it difficult for in-person. So maybe you've watched YouTube videos on a day in the life of a marketing specialist, or maybe you've participated in career fairs virtually to get exposed to businesses, organizations, or companies and their needs. You can also share what type of work environment you can see yourself working in. What does that mean? You can describe anything from what you want to wear to work. Maybe you feel empowered when you put on a tool belt or you put on an apron, to telling them about the type of physical space that you want to work in, whether that be a hospital, a school, a field, a construction site, or a kitchen. Maybe you know you want to be self-employed, or you have an idea of a business or company you want to work for. Share that too. For instance, in high school, I thought it would be really cool to combine my love of sports, shoes, and art to possibly work for Nike and become a shoe designer. Another idea: describe how you like to work. Maybe you like to work with people, or maybe you prefer to work independently. Anything to give the committee an insight on your interest is good to share. What are your college plans and what are your plans after college? This is something you do not have to have this all figured out. They just want to know some general ideas. I want to let you know 75% of students do not know what they want to do. I'm going to say that again. 75% of students are undecided and do not know what they want to do. It is okay to not have it all figured out. But if you can give the committee an insight on some careers or majors that you are considering or might enjoy, that's helpful. Maybe you can discuss about wanting to network and join college clubs, or participate in an internship to get insight and experience in your areas of interest. Maybe you want to share with them if you know you want to get a certificate and go to work. Maybe you want to get a 2 or 4 year degree, or maybe you know you want to pursue a master's or doctoral degree. You can be very general, but giving examples of your interests and hobbies that you might want to consider, or even a few majors that you're considering, is helpful for the scholarship committee to know you have some idea of some possible directions that you're exploring in higher education. All of the items on this slide to include into your essay: life and educational experiences, what motivates you, how have you overcome obstacles, skills and special knowledge, special projects, job shadows, research in your area of study, such as maybe you've done some coaching or mentoring and tutoring on the side. You really want to focus on things that you're most proud of. What have you done to dig in and to work hard and to achieve those goals? Who are you as a person and as a student? These can be anything from the feeling you received after volunteering your time or talent. Maybe you've mentored another student. Definitely, you can list that you successfully navigated school and home life during a pandemic with all of the added challenges that it's brought. Maybe you want to talk about your participation in a school club or organization, or even a summer job you held. These don't have to be formal documented things. They can be things that you have done on the side. Maybe you've helped a neighbor with a yard project, or maybe you occasionally babysit. You can list those things. Other key items to include: don't forget to share about your leadership roles in teamwork, any awards, honors, recognitions, and positions you've held. Try to talk about these in your essay versus list them as you would in a resume, as that looks similar to a machine gun that has attacked your paper. You don't want too many bullet points. Employment: if you've had a part-time job, a seasonal job, or volunteerism, like I mentioned earlier, definitely list that. The committee knows that you're most likely super busy, and even if you have time to occasionally, like I mentioned, babysit or help a neighbor, include that. Any school or community involvement with an emphasis on active contributions to any club, association, or civic organization. Maybe share some favorite experiences or service projects that you did in those clubs, organizations, or positions you held is more interesting to read versus a list of everything that you were involved in. Why are you applying for scholarships and what is your need? This is generally a really hard thing to communicate. So what you really want to tell the committee is, why are you applying for a scholarship and how will you benefit? Here's an example. I discovered my love for art while watching the behind-the-scenes action from Walt Disney. Mesmerized, I sat and stared at all the intricate work and factors that the artist considered and performed during the creative process. Challenges are something I lean into, and I knew that being a cartoonist was something fun, enriching, and definitely a career I wanted to pursue. I can't wait to start my journey to become a cartoonist at LLCC. That's just a way to start your essay. Draw them in. Next, how are you financing your college education? What is your need? Include any special or personal family circumstances that would be affecting your financial assistance. You want to be positive and please share whatever you feel comfortable sharing. Some things that are listed: transportation. Maybe you share one vehicle as a family. Maybe you have a long commute to school and weekly gas to attend classes is expensive. Or maybe you have a well-seasoned vehicle like me that needs major work and you need that vehicle to get to and from school. Maybe you come from a large family. Maybe you are supporting a large family. Maybe you are a single parent, or maybe you are a child of a single parent, and maybe you have worked some summer or odd jobs to help contribute to the family expenses or needs. Maybe you want a scholarship simply to help you buy time so you can take an unpaid internship, or you can join a club or organization to get involved. You can use that so you can work less hours at work to get involved on campus and clubs to give you an insight and even possible experience or exposure to a future career. Proof your essay. I can't stress this enough. Have a friend, teacher, mentor, or parent read over your statement to advise you on how well it conveys what you wanted to say. I recommend handing your essay to at least 2 different people, as they have had different experiences with you and might know you in a different way, that they can tell you some things that you're missing in your essay or things that you might want to include. Finally, check for spelling, punctuation, and grammar errors. Scholarship references. This is a category that sometimes gets less thought from students, but is an extremely critical part of the application. For the LLCC scholarship application and many other scholarship applications, you will have to list 2 references, their first and last name and their email address. You need to ensure to enter their names and email addresses very carefully. If you do not enter their email addresses correct, they will not get the notification to complete your recommendation. If your recommendations are not complete, your scholarship application is incomplete. So who can be your references? References can be teachers, faculty, coworkers, school staff, mentors, coaches, clergy, employers. Please do not use family or friends, as obviously they are biased. I highly suggest you email your references a copy of your resume. Why would you do that? Let them know the things that you do outside of class, outside of the workplace, so they can have more ideas on things to brag about you in that recommendation letter that they write. And yes, you need to ask them to write a recommendation letter. Many scholarship applications ask that references complete mandatory multiple choice questions about things such as your desire to succeed, your work ethic, and service to others, but it is optional. Repeat that. It is optional to attach or include a recommendation letter. A recommendation letter tells the scholarship committee that your reference believes in you so much that they took extra time out of their busy day to go above and beyond for you. A recommendation letter that shares great insight and examples of how you are determined and ready to pursue or continue your higher education is seen very highly by a scholarship committee and can definitely earn you scholarships and or higher value scholarships if your application score was similar to another student. So please purposefully choose your references. Lastly, you need to give them 2 to 4 weeks notice. To write a quality letter and not to rush them, you need to give your references time to complete that recommendation. Lives are busy, and you certainly don't want to rush your references, AKA your great cheerleaders and ambassadors that are going to write you a killer recommendation letter. So what does a complete application include? All the required questions need to be answered. Your transcripts need to be uploaded correctly with the correct type of file. Your references need to be complete and submitted by the due date. I'm going to say that again. Your references need to be complete and submitted by the due date. So the due date of the Lincoln Land Foundation scholarship application is March 1st. That is the same due date that your references must submit their recommendations by. Lastly, successfully complete your application on time. You should receive a confirmation email that your application was successfully completed. For the LLCC Foundation application, even though you submit your application successfully, you still need to sign back into your application prior to the scholarship deadline to ensure your references have submitted your recommendations. Even if you click submit on your application, anytime before the scholarship application closes on March 1st, you can go back in and make changes or check to see if your references have submitted. Let's go over some frequently asked questions. So why apply for scholarships at a specific school if I haven't committed anywhere yet? It's a great question. Scholarships have alternates for each award. If you decide on attending another college or university, you simply let the scholarship coordinator know that you are declining. Can I copy and paste my scholarship essay to other applications? You can, but you do not want to use the copy and paste approach for all application. Different scholarship applications have different selection and different criteria. So you need to make sure to read those questions carefully. Most likely you will be able to use most of the information, but definitely each application is individual and different. Will I have to pay back a scholarship? That's another common question. You do not have to pay back scholarships. Scholarships are made by generous community businesses, organizations, and individuals who are investing in you to help you succeed. Scholarships are a gift and not need to be repaid. All right, we finally made it. Some final encouragement. Definitely apply for LCC Foundation scholarships and all the scholarships that you qualify for. Free money is hard to beat, and the time spent on applications can bring in thousands. Again, don't hesitate to email me with any questions or stick around for the breakout sessions.
Thank you very much, Michelle. And we do encourage you to post any questions that you have in the chat feature. We've been answering some private messages during the presentation. But if you do have any questions you'd like to ask, good news is someone else might be wondering the same thing. Go ahead and post that in chat. And of course, at the end, you'll have an opportunity to join a breakout room with Michelle if you have more specific or in-depth scholarship questions you'd like to ask. But for now, we'll move on to the last little part of the presentation. We do encourage you to take a look at Lincoln Land Community College, of course, for getting on the fast track to a great career or for completing your first 2 years of college before you transfer to complete your bachelor's degree at a college or university. Lincoln Land is a great option to stay close to home. You get to choose from a lot of different program options. You get that personal attention from faculty, personal attention from staff, and of course, you save a lot of money. And on this next slide, you can see you really do save a lot of money by attending Lincoln Land. This chart compares tuition, fees, room and board, books and supplies. So you can see there at the bottom, if you're taking books and supplies into consideration, that's nearly 80% lower than the average total cost of a four-year public school and almost 90% lower than the average total cost at a four-year private school. On the next slide, a common question we get is, how do I get started? First, students will need to apply online at llcc.edu. Michelle mentioned this as part of the scholarship process as well, if you're applying to Lincoln Land Community College Foundation scholarships. After you apply, you'll need to submit your transcripts and, if available, your SAT or ACT scores. Your next step is to complete the required new student orientation, and this will help you learn about how to be successful at Lincoln Land. You will then meet with your assigned success coach, who is there to help you assess strengths, set goals, identify different options available to you, and map out a plan for success so you can achieve your educational objectives. And then you're ready to register for classes. On this last slide, you'll see the different social platforms we're on. They're a great way to stay in the know on college activities and opportunities. So please be sure to like and follow us. I want to encourage you to also visit llcc.edu/forward and check out the other opportunities available to move forward to LLCC. It includes virtual tours as well as recordings of our program informational sessions from October. We do have a breakout room, as I mentioned before, available for questions on scholarships. For any other questions, you're welcome to stay in the main presentation for more information about LLCC programs, enrollment steps, services. If you'd like to join one of the scholarship breakout room, please post in chat and we'll get you into that room momentarily. Otherwise, this concludes our presentation. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.